Well, as you can see, it's back to normal today, but yesterday, loose women became loose men for the first time in our 21 years. Now, if you didn't see it, the boys covered everything from marriage to male grooming and even interviewing Hollywood star Matthew McConaughey.
So lucky.
What a
we weren't here.
Oh. But the reason they did the show in the first place was to encourage men everywhere to open up about mental health.
I get help, you know, whenever I'm feeling fragile. If I need to lean on somebody, my wife can tell if I'm maybe I'm overstressed, I'm working too hard. My therapist, I talk to Dan, and Storm, I go, you think it's time to talk to Dan, you know? And Storm and I can have conversations, but he gives me tools and allows me to, you know, I learn how to use those tools, take them home and be a better person, and maybe I can pass that on to my son.
Well, we've had so much feedback on that. Have you got some comments?
Yeah, there were so many incredible comments yesterday because it really was such a great show. Mr. Pocknell said, as a teacher, it's so nice to see loose men on TV today for International Men's Day. It's really important that young men see other men talk about their emotions, mental health and other important topics rather than just sport. It really does make such a difference, I think, when you think about the situation in the current climate and how many men are struggling. It was incredible.
It's worrying, though, because apparently they were really good. So hopefully they don't replace us. But we've got some comments here. So Johnny said, thank you for allowing men to have a voice today to speak about their real feelings and emotions. It is so important that we normalise these conversations and make more of an effort. And Nicola, as a mum of boys, it's important for men to understand the importance of talking because they're not very good normally at talking, are they, men?
Yeah, without it sounded like a sweeping generalisation because obviously it's not all men, but I do think, especially when me and Joe talk, I could have a 3-hour conversation with my friend about everything that I'm thinking and feeling and worrying about, whereas he'll just go, you're right, mate, cool, bye, even though I know there's loads of stuff that he's worried about or anxious about, but he just doesn't, they don't talk the same.
Paris, I mean, Tyson's been really open about his struggles with his mental health, and I do think that was so important coming from somebody like him, you know, this kind of big, macho fighter figure.
I think it really opened up the playing field for men to talk about their mental health. I think it's really helped a lot of people to come forward and think, if he can say it, well, I can say it. And that show yesterday, again, just lightened it up. Men in the media, men talking about their mental problems, their general state of mind. I think it's brilliant because, like Stacey just said, men don't talk the same as us. We can natter away about a flower for 3 hours. But men will be, the same principle. Just, hi, yeah, all right, see you at football, bye.
And Tyson, he's been diagnosed, I believe, with bipolar. What effect did that documentary...
amongst a few things, depression as well.
What sort of feedback did you get from that documentary from people who kind of suffering with their mental health?
We got a massive response. We get people messaging us, sending letters to us. We even get people at our house, which isn't ideal. It's not a situation that we want to be involved in because obviously we're not professional helpers, but I do always try and say, seek medical help and go straight to a doctor and always try and deal with it the right way because bottling it up is not a good thing. So always try your best to get out there with what you're feeling and what you're thinking and never feel ashamed or embarrassed by what you're thinking or feeling.
So you actually get people coming to your house?
We do. We get people at the house. It's not good. We actually have to move because of that. We're in the process of moving house because we've had too many people at the door, too many strangers coming and knocking. And we have 5 children here. It's not just like me and Tyson's here, 2 adults who can sort of deal with situations. We have people coming to the house and the kids are opening the door and we don't know who they're opening the door to. So it's not what we need. It's not the ideal situation. But I think if people just understood that they need to go to professional help, and that would help them. Where we can't help, Tyson can't help them. He can't make it right. But we've had letters, we've had people at the door.
Paris, can I just ask you, how did Tyson react to the fight being cancelled?
He's took it pretty bad. He's okay, he's moving on, but it has affected him. It was sort of like Tyson's always a firm believer in setting goals to keep his mental health well. And that was his goal at the end of the year. Obviously, everybody's had a very turbulent year, up and down with lockdown, COVID, restrictions. And then this was him finally getting back into work. So it has put him on a bummer. He isn't really saying it, but I know. I've been back for 3 or 4 days now, and it's like living with Jekyll and Hyde. But he'll come through it, I know that. But it has upset him, and it has sort of brought him down a little.
Stacey, you've got boys. How important was yesterday's show for you in that respect?
I think that, I mean, I feel really lucky that the boys have really great influences and people to look up to. And, you know, Joe, my dad, their dads do talk to them about their mental health. So in that respect, I feel that they're really lucky. But I also think that I want to see their heroes, the people they aspire to, not just in the family, but in the media, like on yesterday's show. It's so important for young men and women as well, you know, but if we're talking about men, it's definitely really important for them to see their heroes and the people they look up to and the people they aspire to sharing thoughts and feelings that they might not necessarily feel that they're allowed to share. So, yeah, I thought it was just really special. And, yeah, sometimes you just feel grateful that the times are moving that way and that things are going that way, because I do think, on a whole, men's mental health has come right to the forefront of conversation, whereas it really hasn't been for a long time.
And I think because boxing's like a macho sport, it was really great that Tyson came out and spoke.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, you know, from what you were saying there,
I think
Paris,
it's good to talk to your kids about it.
Yeah, for what you were saying there about, you know, somebody saying they wanted to take their own life, it's just incredibly important for people to just keep talking about this. So do remember that you can find more information about our Stand By Your Men campaign on our website.